Hey friends, I'm Jennifer LaGuardia, always here with you to be your encouraging voice. So kind of funny story I've got to share with you. If you've ever driven out west, you know how exhilarating it is, but it can also feel a little creepy because of how remote and desolate certain parts of it can get in the middle of nowhere. So one of my experiences with this was driving to a bodybuilding show a few years back. I competed in Vegas. Breathtakingly gorgeous red rock for miles and miles driving through Utah. But I just assumed that there'd be frequent gas stations as in other parts of the country. I always stop at the half full point to fuel up and onward I go. Not the case on I-70 West in between Utah and Nevada. So it's after midnight, of course. The tank is on E, and I'm in full panic mode, like freaking out in my head. No signs anywhere for a gas station. I'm convinced I'm going to break down in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, and for sure I'm going to end up being that girl on Unsolved Mysteries. Okay, seriously, it was miraculous how long I drove on an empty tank and finally found a remote gas station in the middle of nowhere. So long story short, I made it to the show, stressed out, feeling like a complete train wreck, but I got on that stage with a smile. True story. But an interesting parallel I often thought of after that ordeal is how it feels like when you're pursuing a dream or anything deeply meaningful and significant, and how long that part of the journey is before you see any indication you're even close to something resembling this dream or that aching desire of your heart. It feels like you're on this lonely, desolate road with no sign in sight, no indication of where you are or how close you might be to some kind of breakthrough, any breakthrough. And you might find yourself panicking in your head. What if it never happens? My friends, allow me to speak into your life. When you have an extraordinary dream or desire in your heart, it's there for a reason. And I can tell you with the utmost certainty that it's most likely something that can only happen through a power much greater than ourselves. This higher power I personally refer to as God. Place this in your heart because you are meant to experience it. Or along your journey pursuing it, you are meant to experience something even greater than you originally set out for. But maybe whatever that greater thing is, you wouldn't have considered it as a possibility for your life when the journey first started. That space in between when it looks desolate and it feels lonely as hell, and you honestly have no idea what to expect up ahead because you're moving through territory you've never traveled before. This space is where you have nothing else to hold on to but your faith. Believing what you cannot see, something on the inside of you, despite what looks hopeless and impossible, this whisper inside tells you there's more. Keep going. Faith defies the odds. It makes all things possible. And I'm convinced from my own personal experience that the universe or God will guide you through this space for a reason that is far more critical than even achieving your ultimate goal or desire. That critical reason is building trust between you and the unseen. You can't possibly have a deep, meaningful relationship with someone you don't really trust. So for me, getting to know who God really is changed everything. Getting to know up close and so very personal that God's love is unconditional and the most powerful force there is. In this divine space, your divine connection with God empowers you to tap into strength you did not know you had. In that space, you become equipped for something so much greater than you originally had in mind. Something that you're going to need to be massively prepared for because you are going to impact other people with what God has given you. Your gifts were meant to be shared and shared with great purpose and intention. When you who you become more of every day, becoming the best version of your highest self, your character, your values, honoring those values and remaining true to who you are authentically is paramount for being able to carry out the extraordinary dream beating in your heart every day. Ultimately, we're all meant to be a conduit of this great divine love, and getting to know the source of this great divine love is the most important thing of all. So friends, if you might be in that desolate space, that weird part of the journey, wondering where are you and will you ever get to see come to fruition what right now only your heart can see, know that you are not alone. God is with you and all around you. The most powerful force in the universe, which is the unconditional love of God, will guide you where you need to be. I love you guys so, so much. And as always, I hope to be an encouraging voice along your journey. So please follow me here on Instagram, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or subscribe to my podcast, Awakening Hope with Jennifer LaGuardia. God infinitely bless you all and all those you hold close to your heart.